And there you have it, the third of 4 champions of chaos, and the best reveal thus far.
Oh. Thought I had the didn't realize I had Indie Pride's video on. Thought I was on the actual Total War, the actual Total War official channel. Where is the Total War official channel? Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, welcome back. Got a new trailer today. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Yeah, Vilitch. New video looks really nice. I love the like the quality of the sound and the just direction of this video. Like it's just such a cool, like this whole scene, it's so cool. Reminds me of that scene from Mark of Chaos when the warrior priest goes into the forest and gets surrounded by those warriors of chaos. Like yeah, like this. There's maybe a few too many spears in this section, but that moment there, that's got some major kick. Yeah, Village looks awesome, and just the sound, the music, like the music and everything is so cool. I noticed these Nurgle Marauders. They look a bit like kind of green, don't they? They look kind of like Incredible Hulks or something. What's going on with that? They look pretty awesome though. It's like, yeah. Vilitch is not trapped. You're trapped. Yeah, really, yeah, Vilitch looks really impressive. I think like visually so far, Vilitch is definitely the one that appeals to me the most. I mean, like Festus is like, you know, he's like a bit comical. Azazel looks pretty badass and stuff, but I don't really like demons, you know. But Vilitch is, yeah, Vilitch is cool. Vilitch is I don't know, just really embodies kind of the. And this trailer, I guess, really embodies the vibe that I think is the correct thing for Chaos. It's sort of encapsulates that kind of, I don't know, like kind of horror and just, like that. Like this, just this sort of, yeah, this horror and strangeness and stuff like that, you know? It's just, I don't know. Like that's how Chaos should be represented, you know, where like when you see just like the some of their representations of like Khorne berserkers and stuff, just kind of running and being kind of just faceless berserkers running and stuff. It's a bit, I don't know, it's not quite as, yeah, I don't think like Khorne was represented as cool as Tzeentch is represented here. This is yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, the Nurgle warriors that are there, the enemy Nurgle warriors do look pretty cool. They look pretty badass as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some like thicker boys with tentacles and stuff like that coming. I think Nathan was saying that they're actually a different. There are some models that look more like Death Guard, like kind of like Death Guard from 40k. That's kind of the look I want to get from my Chaos Warriors, you know. But yeah, I think Nathan said there are some models that are like that. There are some units that are like that in the Chaos Nurgle roster, but you know, they might be something we'll see later on. They're more of a like an elite type thing. I guess Village's appearance confirms Conehead Valkyr. Oh, I haven't been up on the following the Conehead Valkyr discussion, so I don't know much about that. Nurgle Chosen literally looks like a normal Chosen though. Yeah, they're just green basically. I wonder if they've got any chaos symbols on them or anything. So they're there. They basically just have, instead of having the white flesh and tattoos that they normally have, they have like green flesh. Just trying to get a look at the front of one. Yeah, no, there's no like a Nurgle iconography or anything. I think that symbol is just like a normal kind of Norska shield symbol. It's just a colorization. Skin looks like the Nurgle Nurgle Marauders. But yeah, and these Nurgle Chaos Warriors, they look pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm used to seeing Nurgle characters with more like kind of tentacles and guts hanging out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so these guys are a bit, you know. I mean, I probably prefer this aesthetic, really, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't seem as Nurgle-y to me. But yeah, but Nathan shows me that there are such characters, but they're like a more elite version, maybe. So that'd be cool. I wonder what the Nurgle Chosen look like. I wonder if that's a Nurgle Chosen or if there's like a more hardcore version of the Nurgle Warriors than those. But yeah, there's Nurgle Chosen have helmets with hood motifs. Ah, okay, sure. I don't know if we get to see any of this. What do the Tzeentch Warriors look like? You can't really see because it's. Alright, here we go. Check these guys out with the halberds. So that's Chaos Warriors with halberds, or are they Chaos Chosen with halberds? That was the Nurgle Chosen that we were looking at? Oh, okay. Yeah, can't really tell the difference. I'm not sure which ones are the Chosen and which ones are the the aspiring champions, I guess there would be marked versions of them as well. But yeah, Chosen don't have capes. Oh, okay. But Warriors of Chaos don't have capes either, do they? Yeah, no, I don't think Warriors of Chaos have capes either, do they? Sure. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, cool. Pretty cool video. You think of future Blight Kings? Yes, Dominic, that's exactly what yeah, Nathan said. Blight Kings, yeah. Future Blight Kings. So yeah, I hope they bring those in. I'm looking forward to them. Chaos Warriors do have capes? Oh, okay. Some Tzeentch Marauders. So the Tzeentch Marauders just kind of look the same as normal Marauders. Maybe a bit more blue. Their tattoos are a bit brighter. But yeah, I really like these Chaos Warrior Marauders. Although I think the Slaaneshi Hedonite type Marauders do look cool, but the thick boy Slaaneshi Marauders look a lot cooler, I think. Yeah, so I'll just I don't know if this one might be a fairly quick one. I don't think there's that much actual news to watch. There's a bit of a blog here as well with some additional information. Actually, I might have to turn that volume down a little bit more. Yeah, that's probably a bit better. Yeah, the blog info, we'll check that out. Okay. Introducing Vilitch the Curseling. Revealing legendary lord joining the Champions of Chaos Lord pack. So this will be the third out of the 4 lords that you get in the Champions of Chaos DLC. Malformed sorcerer twin, known as Vilitch the Curseling, is a living manifestation of Tzeentch's twisted delight in anarchy. The Grey Sorcerer fused the frail runt with their warrior brother, granting Vilitch both baleful abilities and control of their autonomous siblings' diabolic strength. Now, as they ruthlessly plot to further their own power, their enemies fear the disturbing creature known as the Twisted Twin. So yeah, so we've got the giant warrior brother with the frail sorcerer brother fused into his back like Master Blaster. It's pretty cool. Eagerburn Horseman would be cool. Yeah, and Accord Hellbrass is like a favorite of mine as well. On the battlefield, the chaotic fusion of warrior and wizard makes Vilitch a force to be reckoned with. Upon the battlefields of the old world, both the formidable melee and spellcasting lord of Tzeentch. Their passive ability, Twisted Twin, increasingly raises their spell mastery, melee defense, and melee attack the longer they're in close combat or casting spells. Okay, that's cool. So I wonder how good they are at tanking. If you dismount him and put him on foot, buff his melee defense, like, you know, cast a bunch of spells as soon as they go into combat, especially if you've got like some combat like buffing spells. You know, if he's got like, you know, like a what's it called, fire cloak or whatever, the you know, the fire buffs. I mean all of the magic all of the schools of magic have buffs, but yeah, you go into melee, cast some buffs on yourself. The more you cast spells, the more you get the Twisted Twin melee defense, and then the longer you're in combat, the more you get the melee defense until it kind of caps out, I guess. Cascading Cloak of Fire, yeah. And also the Sword of Flame, whatever it is. Can't remember now. Anyway, yeah, various buffs anyway, you know, or if you've like Shadow, you can cast like debuffs on the enemy and stuff like that. Depending on what spells he gets, I'm sure, you know, he'll probably get a buff of some, or a debuff or something that he can cast, you would think. Or you can just cast offensive magic, I guess. But point is, you know, you can go into melee, cast a couple of spells, get some buffs in melee, and at the same time kick off your Twisted Twin with a couple, you know, give it a head start with a couple of spells or whatever to get it going, and then perhaps you're going to be a good melee tank. That'll be interesting. I wonder if he'll have like a good melee line. Like he'll have a spell line, obviously. I wonder if he'll have like a melee line where he can buff his health and melee defense and stuff like that as well. Okay, so faction effects. Vassals gain increased barrier hit points and spread Tzeentch's corruption. So, okay, so his vassals, so not his actual army, but Norscan tribes that he conquers and become his vassals, they're going to have barrier because they're like Tzeentch vassals, I guess, and they'll spread chaos corruption. He has access to the changing of the ways, so that gives him those like crazy abilities like Kairos has to be able to like transfer settlements from one to ownership of one faction to another, and you know, various other map affecting abilities. Forces receive benefit for having high winds of magic. Okay, not sure what forces receive benefits from having higher winds of magic means. Is that kind of like how Khorne's units get buffed up when they have higher winds of magic? And demon factions in general. Converts a portion of his own battle casualties into souls. That's interesting. So if you've got like high enough replenishment, does it mean you can like cheese, you know, you can like cheese your way into a battle, group up all of your, like have like a full stack of marauders or something, stack them up, use Vilitch's magic to just cast AoE magic on your own marauders and kill them, and then just kind of like leave the battle and get a heap of souls. Because if you were sacking a city over and over again, you wouldn't get that much money out of it because it'd be all like burnt out ruin. But yeah, you could perhaps like farm marauder souls or something. I don't know. Interesting. I'm guessing it's probably not really that cheesable, and it's probably not very significant. You know, it's just like, you know, if you take a lot of casualties, you get a few extra souls, but it's not really something that's going to be that interesting. Hey, Mercy, have they mentioned how confederations will work with these new factions? Yeah, they have, Stephen. They've said that there's no confederations for Warriors of Chaos. So Vilitch, Festus, Azazel, and the Fourth Lord, which we assume is going to be Valkyr, none of them can confederate any of the others. And Archeon, Sigvald, and Kolek as well, and Be'lakor, none of them can confederate each other. But they have also said that they're aware that people really want confederations to be a thing, and they will, most likely they're going to add in some sort of mechanic to allow confederations at a later date. It's just that I think there's like technical problems with it. So basically they said rather than delay everything, they just like release it as is, no confederations, and then they'll look at adding in something later on, whether it's going to be, it might be like a normal confederation where you do it via diplomacy, or it might be more like what the Beastmen have, where you sort of like buy the confederations with different factions as you get currency or something like that. And just from my guess, like it'll probably be a bespoke thing for each faction. So like if you play Sigvald, who's Slanesh aligned, he'll be able to confederate Azazel, maybe, and vice versa, but they wouldn't be able to confederate like Valkyr, or Khorne focused kind of one, like, and maybe Sigvald could confederate Chaos Undivided, but Azazel couldn't, and stuff like that. So I think it's maybe they'll do it so each faction's got its own bespoke kind of situation. Just realized somebody gifted you a membership. Yeah, no worries, Pontifex. Could have been it could have been Almac or Andrew Jones. They both gifted out some memberships, so I'm very generous. But it was most likely Ieston Jones because he's gifted out like about 50 memberships to people over the last week or two. So yeah, so thanks to Ieston, and yeah, hope you enjoy your membership. Has access to the Tzeentch teleport stance. Cool. So that's the Tzeentch teleport stance that Kairos gets in his campaign. So if I understand correctly, I don't really play Kairos much, but Kairos gets this teleport stance. It's kind of like an underway stance that lets him, you know, bypass terrain and stuff like that. But it uses 10 winds of magic every time he does it, I think. But maybe you can tech into making it cheaper or making it free. But additionally to that, it's like it does like an ambush attack, and I think maybe it's bugged. Yeah, so it's like an underway that lets you attack, but also it's like an ambush attack. So it's like yeah, and I think it's bugged so that it like makes it you automatically ambush, like 100% success chance. So I don't know if that's a bug or if it's meant to be that way or what the go is. Dominic says it actually costs 40 winds of magic. Oh, it's 40 winds of magic, not 10 winds of magic. Right, sorry. Yeah, I remember it being pretty, you know, unfortunate. But there is a late game tech that makes it free. Yeah, so there's a late game tech for Demons of Chaos that makes it free. But there's no guarantee that there'll actually be a tech for Warriors of Chaos to make the Tzeentch teleport stance free. I'm sort of assuming that the different champions of Chaos will actually have different tech trees. They won't actually give them all the same tech tree, because it sort of seems like they're going out of the way to make all of the Warriors of Chaos factions really unique and kind of, yeah, separate from each other, with like even to the point where they have different faction like mechanics and stuff like that. So I think it'd be quite reasonable to expect that they might have different tech trees as well, but they may not, you know. They may not, but it's like, but like Wolfheart, for example, is an Empire faction. He has slightly different tech tree from Karl Franz and Volkmar, you know, for example. So, you know, maybe there'll be some little difference in in Vilitch's tech tree that allows him to tech into the teleport stance, but maybe he won't have that because he's not a Demon of Chaos. Lord effects. So this is just personally on Vilitch. He steals 15% of the experience earned by other lords. Yeah, I don't know if that's how useful that ability is, really. Generally, you don't want to have a lot of extra lords early on in the campaign. It's generally like later in the campaign when you get like that second and third army, and they're going to be earning a lot of experience and stuff like that. But one interesting use of that is that in Warhammer 3, the supply lines penalty for Legendary is, instead of being 15%, it's 4%. So if you're used to playing on Legendary with multiple armies, where you have to pay 15% extra supply lines for each extra army, 4% is almost like nothing. You know, it is actually still fairly significant, especially when later on when you've got a lot of forces. But it's much less punishing. And so one thing I quite like to do in Warhammer 3 is actually roll around with 4 armies straight away. So you'll probably only still have like 1 army basically, but I'll have like 2 or 3 extra lords, or at least 1 extra lord if I can afford it, just so I can do ambush traps and stuff like that. So that's one little cool advantage of that you can actually roll with like 4. You could get Vilitch and then recruit a second lord on turn 1 and a third lord on turn 3 and on turn 2, etc., and actually roll with 4 lords. And because of the way that the experience works in Warhammer 3, you get basically the experience that you get is based on how much you fight, how many units and how strong the units are, I guess, that the enemy that you're fighting is. But then so just say you fought a small army, you'll get a little bit of experience. Doesn't matter how much of the army you kill, it's just based on how big the army is to start with when you first face it. But say you fought a small army, you get a small amount of experience. Big army, or like 2 or 3 armies like reinforcing each other, you get lots of experience, right? Just say you get like 10,000 experience because you've fought like a massive pile of armies. If you have a second lord, that second lord will get half that experience. They'll get 5,000, but the main lord will still get the full 10,000, right? So you've actually got a net like a total amount of experience. You've got 15,000 experience there between the two lords, right? You get a third lord, he gets 5,000 as well. You get a fourth lord, he gets 5,000 as well. So if you have 4 lords, then instead of getting that 10,000 experience on Vilitch, you'd actually get 25,000 total experience, because the other 3 lords would each get 5,000 as well, right? And then Vilitch would get 15% of those other three lords back onto him, which is essentially another 45%. So instead of getting sorry, no, it's half of 45, 22.5%. So instead of getting 10,000 experience, he'd get 12,250 experience. So, you know, you could actually use it if you can afford to have the 4 extra lords. That actually could be a pretty good way to like power up his levels a little bit quicker, I guess. Passive ability to Twisted Twins, that was the one we were already talking about. Passive ability increases their spell mastery, melee defense, and melee attack the longer that they're in close combat or casting spells. I wonder as well if that would be a good idea to have some sort of bodyguard. If you can get some sort of bodyguard unit or bodyguard heroes or something like that that can assist him to make him tankier. You know, because if he's tankier and he's got his melee defense going up with the Twisted Twin ability, that's great. He's going to be able to blob. He's going to be able to fight in the middle of the melee blob. But if he can have like 3 or 4 or 10 other heroes around him in a circle, then he's going to be much more tanky, because he'll have that same advantage of just being only one unit getting, you know, they can only get hit by so many other units, but he'll be mixed in with a bunch of other heroes, so he'll be kind of like dividing up that damage. So, you know, that could be interesting to see what you can put with him to make him even tankier. Teleport stance usage cost minus 25% Winds of Magic Lord's Army. Okay, so somebody was saying that teleport stance costs 40 Winds of Magic, but you can get rid of the cost in the tech tree for Demons of Chaos, for Kairos. So for him, it'd be minus 25%. So does that mean instead of 40, it costs 30? Or does that mean, is it like a... Yeah, I guess that's what it means. So instead of 40, it costs 30. And yeah, possibly you can further reduce it with technology. But yeah, I don't know. Hey, Andrew Jones. Welcome. Up next, we'll be looking at even more in-depth look at Vilitch with a Let Play coming tomorrow. So look for that over on the official Total War YouTube channel. Prepare yourself for more news about the final Legendary Lord joining the Champions of Chaos next week. Okay, cool. So it looks like I'm going to get like one more bit of news tomorrow, and then that might be the end of the news for this week. Yeah. Vilitch is looking pretty good. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm planning on playing a bit more of a Warhammer 2 one province, one army campaign after this. This is a relatively, although it's pretty cool. Like I'm loving the look of Vilitch. It looks amazing. You know, but yeah, I think in terms of actual news to discuss, it's pretty. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. There's not really much else to say about it, I don't think. Excuse me. He does look neat. He does indeed look neat. Will you and the other content creators have early access to these lords? Yes. Yeah, I am going to get early access. CA's already told me when I'm getting early access, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the exact date. But yeah, it's not in the next few days, but yeah, soonish I'll get access to it. But then even after I do get access, there'll be there's going to be like an NDA or whatever before, not an NDA, but you know, there'll be a period where I'm not allowed to show anything anyway, either. So yeah, so I'll probably play. Hey, Mark, you're excited? Yeah, I'm excited too. I think so far Vilitch is definitely my most exciting Chaos Lord for me to play. I think yeah, I think Vilitch and Sigvald, I guess, are the two I mean. Oh, and Archeon. Vilitch, Archeon, and Sigvald. I'm excited to play all of them. I'm excited to play everything, really, but yeah. But you can't wait to cheese, huh? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Some cheeses are fun and some cheeses are not fun, you know? It's always fun. It's always fun to find the cheese, you know, and figure out how it works and stuff like that. That from that sciencey point of view, or the quest for knowledge. But it's not. It doesn't always make the game better, you know. Some cheeses actually are really good, but some cheeses sort of make the game no good. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely keen. The models do look great, yeah, and I just love the direction. I love this little video. It's so awesome. It's just like I said, it really reminds me of that old Mark of Chaos video. I wonder if it was like a little bit inspired by that. Just this scene, so cool, so cool, and that little bit of little bit of music in the background is like so cool. Yeah, Vilitch is a badass. Love it. This is by far my favorite DLC. Warriors of Chaos are badass. Yeah, I tend to agree. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to just sit here and kind of just keep watching this over and over again and just saying how awesome Warriors of Chaos look, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like the content's not that great. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go and switch over to our what do you call it? Warhammer 2 campaign now. We're playing the one army, one province challenge as Reichland. So you can only conquer Reichland, only have one army. So if you guys want to check out a bit of that, you're welcome to join me. Once this stream ends, it'll like redirect you straight into the other one. Excuse me. Or you can click on this link if you want to join us over there. Yeah, let's wrap it up. We'll wrap this up. We'll probably do another little thing about the news when it comes out tomorrow. Just the same thing as this, just a brief little discussion of the video and whatever thoughts that you guys have about it. Oh, actually, one more thing before we go. I'll just quickly show the map starting position as well. I forgot to show that. Yeah, so Vilitch starts up here. So he's right in the corner of Cathay above Lockyer. So sort of replacing Kairos, I guess, because Kairos did start around here, and now Kairos has been moved down here to the bottom of the Southlands. So I guess Vilitch kind of replaces Kairos as the northeastern, Tzeentch Lord. But anyway, yeah. So I'll just end this stream here, guys. Welcome to join me on my one province, one army. Karl Franz, desperate defense of the Empire. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, catch you guys.